Happy holidays and welcome to Launch Your Classroom. I'm Kyle Pope. We here at LYC consider ourselves very fortunate to be able to share information, guidance, and strategies with teachers on a weekly basis. You may be curious as to where our materials come from. Well, most of it comes from our show's writers who have a combined 30+ years of classroom experience. But we also understand the importance of staying up to date with the latest education trends, so we take every opportunity to get into classrooms and watch other expert teachers at work. During our travels, we've encountered some amazing teacher success stories that deserve to be told. So today on Launch Your Classroom, we'd like to share the incredible work being done by classroom teachers and hope that you are as inspired by them as we are. And there we go. Preparations are almost complete for our holiday celebration here on the station. I can't wait to surprise Andres.
He's gonna love it. It's good to bring some seasonal vibes, you know? Even in space.
I can almost taste the hot chocolate right now.
Hello, David. How are things going with the holiday light display? Will it be ready in time?
Oh, absolutely. Everything's all set up. I just need to plug it in when I get your signal.
Thanks, David. All right, I think I hear Andres coming. I'm gonna go make sure all the other preparations are in order. Remember, it's a surprise.
Just the two fellas I've been looking for. Happy holidays, Brian. Happy holidays, Spencer.
Whoa! Thank you so much, Andres. It's excellent.
It'll be perfect for brain breaks during long sessions in the monitoring center.
Say, where's Kyle? I'd love to give him his gift too.
Kyle.
He's, you know Kyle. He's probably...
More importantly, what are these signals we're receiving?
Oh wow, we're receiving a bunch of incoming teacher success stories. They're just pouring in.
With the fall semester wrapping up, they're checking in and letting us know what went well in their classrooms.
That's outstanding. Can we watch one?
You bet. Punching it up now.
I'm Miss Raquel, and I come from the Philippines, and I teach grade 7 mathematics. Math is a difficult subject. When I was younger, I got the math as a traditional one that the teacher discusses. I do the book work, I do the worksheet. So I promised myself that when I become a teacher, I will not do it. So to make it fun, I use games for that. I use cards, domino tiles, dice. I also have like digital games, like I use Kahoot games, quizzes, Quizlet, Math XL, because generation now, the students now like to do something with their laptops. So every time they look forward to it. They can have a variety of things they can do inside my class. So I think that makes mathematics fun. Before you start every activity you have to tell them all the rules first. I have this multiplying of integers game using cards. All the black cards mean positive cards, and all the red cards mean negative cards. All the groups will have a deck of cards, and everyone will be given just 4 cards. So they have to pick one card from the deck and one card from their own deck. And whatever number they see there, they have to multiply it. So if they get the correct answer, the correct product with the correct sign, they get to lose both cards. They have to lose all the cards to win. I also have the tile game, so it's the domino tiles. So they can use the tiles as a fraction. They can choose which side up. How to win the game is they have to earn the most tiles. It's partnered with a dice. You roll the dice, and that will be the whole number. And the fraction, so you can have addition of fraction with a whole number or multiplication of fraction. You know, you can do the 4 operations using that game. The color game is like, I have a chart with all 35 words that means addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So they can work together as a group. All of them has markers. You make them choose the marker first before you let them know what is that marker for. So after they got the marker, everyone has their turn to encircle the word that corresponds to the colored marker they have. So example, if they got the purple, they're gonna do the addition. So they're gonna encircle all the words as addition. And a good thing about it, this is a group work. They cannot just encircle any word that they want to. they have to ask their group mates, is it correct before I encircle it? I also have group points during games, which I give them immediate reward, like maybe a free time or something, or they can have additional points in their quiz or in a worksheet. And it works. When you make something fun for them, that makes them active, I think that's what the teacher has to do whenever they're inside the classroom. When you see that the learning is going on inside the classroom, I think that's the best part of being a teacher.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You can create a whole world of content review in a simple, fast-moving game. Around the World is a review game that will get your kids moving, engaged, and on the path to success with your learning objectives. Let's talk about how to prepare for the game first. First, you'll want to identify your learning objectives. We'll be teaching geography today, but this game works for any subject. Create a set of questions of varying difficulty based on these objectives. Next, you'll want to get a set of index cards. Take the set of questions you created and write one question per card. You'll want to make sure you have at least double the amount of cards as you have students. Shuffle them up and you're ready to play. Now let's take a look at how the game works. As always, before starting any activity, you'll want to set your expectations.
Okay, class, there's 3 rules. Listen to the whole question before raising your hand, wait to answer until I call on you, and when I do, you've got 3 seconds to answer. Okay, Arthur, you're up first. Please move next to Clarice's desk.
One student will get up and stand by another student's desk. These 2 students will compete to see who can answer the question from your index cards first.
All right, what is the capital city of China?
Beijing.
Excellent.
Now, let's get a bird's eye view of the classroom, shall we? Since Arthur answered correctly, he gets to advance to the next desk and challenge the student that is seated there. If Arthur succeeds, he'll move forward and compete yet again. The goal for each student is to get all the way around the world and make it back to their original desk. But what if Arthur gets the answer wrong or isn't first to answer?
Okay, what ocean lies between Africa and Australia, but is south of Asia?
The Pacific Ocean.
I'm sorry, Arthur, that is not correct. Patrick, do you know the answer?
The Indian Ocean.
Correct.
Great job, Patrick.
Students can get competitive, so be sure to praise them for being good sports. When a student doesn't advance, they sit in the seat where they missed the question. It's possible that no one in your classroom will be successful in getting all the way around the world, and that's okay. The most important thing is that your students are reviewing your content in an engaging way. But what if no one gets the answer right?
Next, which is the longest river in Asia? The answer was the Yangtze. But let's try another question.
If neither student gets the answer correct, give them the next question and let them try again. It's important to note which questions students are struggling with during this activity so you can address these mistakes and review after the game.
Great job, everyone. Before we move on to our next activity, I do want to go over some of these questions.
You can let your students go around the world as many times as you like. Once your card stack returns to the first question, the game is over. The competitive nature of this game and its format will make learning more engaging for your students, which is likely to enhance their retention of your content. Additionally, this game allows for teachers to monitor students closely and see where they might need a little bit more help. It's a win-win. I encourage you to make Around the World one of your class's next destinations.
Got it, Kyle. We'll make sure all the healthy holiday treats are ready for the big celebration. And we'll keep it secret if we see Andres. So, what do you think?
This virtual reality bicycle program that you made is amazing, Heather. It's so realistic. I feel like I'm actually pedaling through the Alps.
It's a great way to stay active while we're up here on the station.
Hi, everyone. Oh, sorry. Am I interrupting?
Not at all. Ryan is just finishing up my Tour de France simulation.
This thing is amazing. You have to try it. That alpine air is crisp.
I'd love to. But first, happy holidays!
Thanks, Andres!
You're so welcome. Hey, have you two seen Kyle around today? I feel like I'm always one step behind him.
You mean Kyle from accounting? Kyle Pope.
Oh yeah, I think he, didn't he go to...
Well, I'm sure he's around here somewhere. Hey, have you guys seen the wonderful teacher stories we've been receiving?
We have.
It's incredible what they've accomplished this year. Hey, Heather. Think you could load one up on the VR headset for Andres to see?
What a great idea. All right, Andres, get ready to go to a very special classroom.
Let's do it.
Hello, my name's Jennifer and I'm a kindergarten teacher from England. My favourite part about teaching is when the kids come in the morning really happy and excited, or they tell me quirky little stories about the day before. At the start of the year when they didn't know me and I didn't know them, they'd say something completely random. And if they can't think of anything that they want to talk about, I might say, oh, what did you do yesterday when you went home? Or did you do anything nice on the weekend? And it accelerates like a conversation. Because then I find out if there is anything I should know about at home. If they say, oh no, I had a really bad weekend. And it also helps me know their personality. If you know what they like, then you can kind of cater to their likes, because children are always more excited about learning when it's something that they're enthusiastic about. Like if they get to make something while they're learning, then they're obviously always a lot more engaged. And if it relates to something they already like, then they're really engaged. Last year when my kids were really excited about summer, I wrote all the sight words on the beach balls and then we passed them to each other and they'd pick a word and read it and show it to each other. Well, we talk all the time about trying really hard, and because I'm teaching children that are really young, for the most part they do want to try really hard. And so I think the best thing to do is I just continuously encourage them, even if it's something really small. Like if you see a child that can never sit still, if they're sitting still, I'm like, yay, well done, it's amazing. And then you can see that it's made them really happy. And at this age as well, they like the positive reinforcement of like getting a sticker. Or when we have parents' evenings, I always explain to their parents. And if I have a child who needs additional support, I normally have a behavioural chart that I send home every day with smiley faces or sad faces or in-between faces. But yeah, I just find that positive reinforcement continuously works really good. If a child is very frustrated with a situation and is feeling like they can't do whatever I've asked, then I tend to try and work more one-to-one with them and build it up slowly. I think it's important to establish relationships, because if you don't, the child isn't going to really want to interact with you. They're not going to want to respond to you in any way. And by making them feel safe and happy in a different environment leads to better learning because they feel more comfortable. It makes it feel more like family at school.
Have you ever noticed that one of your students excels at a particular skill? Of course. All students have special abilities, and it's important to shine a light on each of them. That's why I use a strategy called Ask the Experts. This exercise allows you to highlight a student's individual strengths by designating them an expert in a particular area. First, ask the expert to demonstrate their ability to the class, and explain why it's a good skill to have. Next, encourage classmates to go to that student for help when they need it. This not only boosts the expert's confidence, but it builds classroom community by enabling students to celebrate and assist one another. For example, Clarice loves to solve complex math equations. I think she could explain the process in a way her peers really understand. So I'm designating Clarice as the expert problem solver. Clarice, I see that you finished the bell work in record time. Could you please demonstrate for the class how you solved this problem?
Okay, so the first thing
It's important to start building rapport at the beginning of the year, but you want to keep that momentum going as the year progresses. This is a rapport building strategy that gains ground over time. By periodically updating the expert board with new names and talents, I make sure everyone has a chance to stand out.
That's why you put the numbers on one side and the variables on the other side. I like to draw an arrow to remind myself where everything goes.
Thanks, Clarice. It makes so much sense the way you're saying it.
Sully is super supportive of his classmates. In fact, I'm going to designate him as the motivation multiplier. It's great to focus on academic skills, but soft skills like organization and kindness are just as important. Most rapport building strategies draw upon students' similarities, but this one encourages students to appreciate their differences. And since that's the ultimate goal, there are a few things you'll want to keep in mind. Be careful to track the names included on the bulletin board so that no one is left out. Next, be sure to highlight meaningful skills. You don't want students to feel like you're playing favorites or that their skills were simply throwaways. Also, avoid using language that indicates students are the best at something. This activity shouldn't result in competition, but rather increased contributions from each student. Lastly, set clear procedures as to how and when students should help one another. For example, the first 5 minutes of independent work time can be set aside for expert help. Speaking of, class, it's time to talk to the experts. Please work quietly together for the next 5 minutes.
Clarice, I'm having a hard time isolating the variable. Could you help me?
Of course, Patrick. I like to think about it like this. First you gotta do the math.
I'm kind of nervous about tomorrow's quiz. But you've been doing so well on your assignments lately. You'll do great. Oh, thanks, Sully.
Using this strategy, you're sure to cultivate a positive classroom climate. In the process, you'll learn new things from your students too. So, let them share their skills and be open to the authentic lessons they bring to one another. That's some expert advice we can all use.
And that's everything. All that's left is to signal David to activate the holiday light display. David? Come in, David. David? He's not answering. I hope everything's all right.
I'm sure he's just putting the finishing touches on. Here comes Andres!
Happy holidays, Rachel. There you are, Kyle. Happy holidays to you too.
Thank you, Andres. These will be perfect for when Coach and I spar.
I thought you'd like them. Hey, Kyle, everything okay? Do you like your pen?
I love it. It's just that you're always so thoughtful about your holiday gifts, and this year we wanted to surprise you with a holiday light show and celebration, but we weren't able to get it ready in time.
Kyle, every console and communicator in this station has been filled with stories of teachers from all across the country today. These countless videos that we've received of educators being so committed to the support and development of their students, the selfless giving of their time, expertise, and compassion, these are the best gifts I could have ever hoped for.
Speaking of, there's another great teacher story on here. Maybe you should load it up.
Wasn't there something I was supposed to do? Oh. Oh!
Way to go, David.
I can't think of a better backdrop to watch this teacher story, or better colleagues. Let's watch.
Hi, I am Genesis. I am from the Philippines and I am teaching Marine Science Honors and Environmental Science. I am trying to incorporate individualized learning with the students. Involvement is a very big issue with high school students because you always have those kids that do not want to participate. Maybe this kid is not very sociable, like she learned best when she's doing it on her own. If I have those type of students, I actually talk to them privately and I have a separate activity paper for them where I still kind of get what's on their mind. But I always tell them that it's not always like that. You have to come out, you have to tell something. And so slowly, I am pushing them to talk, to share to the class, to work with the group. I really love the science menu project that we did. I gave them a $10 money. It's a fake money, of course. And then I gave them a restaurant menu. They have an entree, they have a dessert. So let's say, for example, if they are going to choose one entree, then basically they can work on a vocab, that's $1. They can make a quiz of 10 points, which is $1. So it's kind of individualized. Also, they have the free will to choose what they want. The only thing is that they need to spend $10. At the end of the week, they have 4 different skills that they were able to get from doing that work. And they learned well because they have to do it on their own, although obviously with my guidance. And they have to share something that is very relevant. Relevance is very important. So at the end of the day, they have to share what makes that project relevant to them. Expectations from the students are very important. What they are looking for in the subject matter, with the teacher, and with the classroom. So when you know their expectations, their wants, what do they want to do in the classroom, so that basically you're giving them the idea that they have their voice and they really matter in my classroom. And from that, we kind of make our rules meet halfway. So basically, it's very student-centered. And with that, I already get the respect from the student. And when they need to talk, I really listen to them. I'm very focused with all of them. I am giving them that sense of belongingness in my classroom.
It's no secret that your students each have their own unique personality. The same is true for their learning styles. What works for one might not work for another. Engagement suffers when students don't understand the way content is being delivered. Teaching the same content with different methods will ensure your whole class is actively learning. Try implementing these strategies for some common learning styles that will keep your students interested in your lesson. Kinesthetic learners prefer to move, build, or draw. They might have trouble sitting still and lose focus. They learn best by being physically engaged with the content rather than just listening to a lecture. Getting them up and moving will help them stay concentrated on the moment. Okay, class, to help us prepare for our quiz on landforms this week, I thought it would be fun to create symbols with our hands to help remember the names of what we've been learning about. Everyone stand up. Jasper, what should our name be for this?
I think the mountains should look like this, because they are big and strong.
I think it's perfect, Jasper. Now this week, every time we say the word mountain, we all have to make this symbol. Visual learners rely on seeing the information to best retain it. They could get easily distracted by watching other things in the room. By using visual aids such as graphs, images, or maps to complement your content, your visual learners will best respond and be able to recall the information easier. Try giving your students flashcards about your lesson or have them make their own. This natural waterway leads into lakes, seas, and oceans, and it's called
Oh. It's a river, and it can also flow into other rivers.
That's right, Clarice. Great job. Auditory learners prefer to listen to instructions rather than reading or taking notes. They will respond well to presentations and might have difficulty with complicated diagrams or reading. They also might start talking out of turn or get off task if their interest in the content is fading. Try coming up with rhymes or songs about your lesson. Writing them as a class will also keep everyone involved and having fun while also learning. Okay, now that we've finished writing our landform song, let's hear it. Take it away, Jasper.
Mountains are big and strong.
Rivers are flowing and long.
And if you think glaciers are small, you'd be wrong.
Great song, class. Let's practice everything again over the next few days and you'll definitely be ready for the quiz. The motion, visuals, and music that we used in this week's lesson felt more like a game to students than actual classwork. It was a great way to reinforce the content while being useful to the whole class. Remember, a one-size-fits-all method of teaching leads to disengagement and lower academic performance. By employing multiple learning strategies, you can help all of your learners, whether kinesthetic, visual, or auditory, understand content and demonstrate proficiency.
Watching incredible teacher success stories always serves as an inspiration to become better at our teaching practice. Raquel's use of games to engage her students, Jennifer's focus on relationship building, and Genesis's differentiation strategies are worth being replicated and celebrated. It's exciting to know that this is just a sample of the amazing work being done in classrooms across the U.S. So as we head into the holiday break, take the time to recognize all those inspiring educators around you and all the ways that you have inspired others. And please, feel free to send your story to us. This month on Launch Your Classroom, we'll continue to focus on teacher success stories along with some special holiday content. We're going to sit down with an expert educator to do a deep dive into engagement, building relationships, and differentiation. Then we'll have a special holiday message from EPI and LYC. We'll discuss how you can take the tradition of sending out a holiday letter and make it useful for your classroom. And to wrap the month up, we're going to get into the kitchen to cover eating healthy for the new year. So be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel to get all of our upcoming professional development content. Thank you, happy holidays, and we'll see you next time on Launch Your Classroom.